Morty paperwork. Let's start out with the work agreement. Each of you got your own individualized work agreement. This has your name, your position, and your salary. You're going to start by filling in your name, making sure that your information is correct, and then signing down at the bottom. We'll sign the form once we get it. Next, you're going to let us know if you used to be a full-time student, expect to be, or if none of these apply to you. Next, you're going to fill in some emergency contact information and tell us your t-shirt size. Finally, you'll sign it again, and you'll authorize for us to do a background check on you. For this, you're going to need to fill in some personal information, which includes your name, your social security number, your address, your date of birth, your driver's license number. If you don't know your social security number or driver's license number, that's okay. Leave them blank for now, and we'll help you find it. The next form that we're going to talk about is the I-9. The good news about the I-9 is although it seems long, the first 6 pages are just instructions. So we can scroll down to page 7 and start there. You're going to start by filling in some basic information, your last name, your first name, where you live, etc. Keep in mind that when you're asked for your address, you're going to fill in your permanent address. If you're in school, this might be where your family lives, not where you live. Think about where mail and bills get sent to. This is your permanent address. Next, you're going to put in your social security number, if you know what it is. Tell them where you're a citizen of, and fill in the rest of it. The bottom section here is completed by us, so don't worry about that. We'll just scroll down to the next page, which asks you about ID. In order to complete the I-9, you're going to need to scan in some ID. You can either pick one type of ID from column A, like a passport, or one type from column B and one type from column C. This could be your voter registration card and your social security card. It could be a school ID, a driver's license, etc. The next form that we're going to fill out is also a tax form. This is your W-4. The W-4 can be a little bit confusing if you've never filled one out before, but that's okay. One of the keys is to figure out if someone else is claiming you as a dependent. This requires you to call your family or whoever you've lived with, mom, dad, grandma, etc., and ask them if they're claiming you as a dependent on their taxes. If they're paying your bills, they're almost certainly claiming you. It's also often a lot easier to just enter zeros on this and let the government withhold a little bit extra from you. You'll get it back at the end of the year when you file your taxes. The bottom part of the form is a little bit more advanced, and you generally won't need to fill this out. Only if you want to itemize deductions or if you have multiple earners, this applies to you, but you'll generally know this, so most of you will be able to leave this blank. Let's talk about how the money gets to you. Camp Morty runs exclusively through direct deposit, so this means that we're going to put the money right into your bank account, no paper checks. You're going to give us the name on your bank account number, your routing number, and we're going to put your whole paycheck in. If you need to know your bank account number and your routing number, you can find these on your checks. If you don't have checks, you can call your bank and they'll help you out. Bank routing number is easy to find with just a simple internet search. Go to the internet, type in your bank name and your city and routing number, and it'll come up with a list. So for example, I use PNC Bank and I live in Philadelphia. So I would put in PNC Bank routing number, Philadelphia, and my routing number will come up. Next, you're going to just sign this form. If you don't have a bank account, or if you're international, you're going to need to create a bank account with Hudson Valley. You're going to put in your basic information, your name and address, when you were born, social security, again, if you don't have it, leave it blank, and we're your employer, so you'll fill out the Camp Morty information. Your employment is beginning June 29th, and our address can be found on the website. The next sheet is just for U.S. citizens, so only for your domestic staff member will you fill this out. This is a really easy form to fill out because it's conveniently highlighted. So you're going to fill out your name in the highlighted area, where you live, and then you're going to sign it. You're over 18 years old, so you only need to sign this top part. The next sheet is also only for U.S. citizens. This is a request to drive form, and you're going to fill out the bottom part of this form under contractor information. Your name, your permanent address, as always, when you were born, male or female, last 4 digits of your social security, and your driver's license number. If you don't have a driver's license, you almost certainly won't be driving a vehicle at camp, so don't worry about that. The next form is only for international staff members, and this is the W-8BEN. This is for tax purposes. You're going to fill out your personal information, including what country you're from. Yes, this form can be a little bit confusing, but the IRS has pretty good instructions online. So if you go online and Google instructions for W-8BEN, you'll get a really good few pages on instructions that'll help you fill it out for yourself. There are also some videos online that kind of break it down a little bit. I hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions.